Hey everyone, welcome to another video here on Handsome Smiles. Today's video is going to be quite different to what's normally on my channel. It's going to be quite a special video for me. It's going to be a selection of some of my favorite YouTube reviewers, and they're going to be bringing you their favorite oud oil. So I'm going to hand it over to Nikhil from the channel Perfume Guru, one of my favorite reviewers, and I'll catch you at the end to give you my opinion of my favorite oud oil.
Hello my dear friends, this is Nikhil from the channel Perfume Guru. A big thanks to brother Waseem for this wonderful collaboration. Thank you for inviting me. So guys, I had a tough time choosing my favorite oud and my favorite attar. My favorite oud of all time, and this was very difficult to decide, and it's a tie basically. Anyway, the first one is Lushai Hills, a limited edition oud oil from the house of Agarwood Assam. They are based in India, and this is my favorite oud oil of all time because it has a profile which is truly distinct and very classical, traditional, Hindi-like, Indian-like. It is one of the most revered notes in perfumery because of its subtle notes. It's not at all loud, it's not at all penetrative, it's not at all balmy, animalic, dirty, whatever, because it's a true connoisseur's oud. It's been aged for about 20 years, and it has developed into a soft, gentle, blissful oil. All the harsh tones are gone. There's this sweetness, there's this wonderful smokiness, just a subtle hint, and you get beautiful, creamy, nutty, earthy, terracotta sort of accord from here, and it has the typical dry down with sweet and sour berries and that bona fide Indian oud note, which is very soulful. It's delicious, it's creamy, and it's very meditative. So Lushai Hills from the house Agarwood Assam. My second favorite oud oil, or let's say my favorite non-Hindi oud oil, and this was a rather affordable oud oil from the house of Ensar Oud. Ensar Oud has a reputation of making some of the most precious ones. Anyway, this is known as Aroha Kyaku. This was released in the year 2011-2012. This is a vintage batch, by the way, which I scored from the internet. And this is a proper smoky, incensey agarwood oil. It is sweet, it is extremely smoky. It's almost like putting your nose in the leftovers of a bonfire. There's ashiness to it, there is a bit of tarriness to it, and the incensey profile is just like experiencing something like a Japanese temple or an ancient Indian temple, because you have incense, you have a bit of that floweriness coming from the Cambodian oud here, and it's a fantastic creation. It is one of my favorites, even though this was priced quite modestly. I feel this is a true gem from the house of Ensar Oud, and I really enjoy it.
Hi, this is Juan from Hueleme Mucho. Today I want to thank my brother Waseem to invite me to be part of this video. He contacted me the other day and he said, brother, I need you to tell me what your favorite oud, or just what the natural oud is, and which one would you choose. And that for me is one of the most complex questions ever, because oud is a note that, as you know, it gets more complex, and the more you learn, the more you like, the more you enjoy. But I had to be honest, and I revised all my collection, and I realized that there is one oud that really stands out on top of the rest. And that oud is a Sri Lankan oud. The Sri Lankan oud is a type of oud that is like nothing that I've ever smelled. We are used to Indian ouds that are pungent, intense, depends on the quality of it. We have the Cambodian ouds, which are more sweet and more embracing. You have the more darker ouds, the Marokes from Vietnam, and you have the Sri Lankan ouds, which are more cereal, aquatic, close to your heart, fougerish sort of oud, but all in an oudish sort of way. So do not expect something like oud mixed with fougere, but if there was an oud that was to be considered fougere, I would say, is really the Sri Lankan oud. And from the Sri Lankan oud, I've smelled many ouds, and there are two that really stood out. One is one from my friend Bornikov, Dmitry Bornikov, and the other one is the one that I have here to show you today, is Surinanka Naya from Ensar Oud. Surinanka Naya from Ensar Oud, and the one from Bornikov. I think Surinanka Naya is just the top. But I would say Surinanka Naya is a fragrance that I love, is an oud that I love, because the first time I smelled it, and every time ever after, I've felt something that I've only felt when I was young. And I have like, my stomach starts closing, and I have like, wow, this scent is really affecting, it's really touching my soul. And this is the scent of love. Is a fragrance that really is the feeling you have with the first love. So Surinanka Naya for me is a fragrance, is an oud that I'm sorry, it's too fast. Ooh, is a fragrance that is dense, rich, complex, very cereally, but at the same time touches your soul in a way that really makes you want to cry from happiness. So if there was an oud that was a poem, it would be this one, and this would be the best love poem ever. But it's a poem not for old readers, but for young readers. It's the first love poem that really gets into your heart, and that is what I get with this one. My stomach reacts to it, my body reacts to it, and whenever I wear it, I feel over the top. So it's not probably there are ouds that are quality-wise that are more complex, more expensive, more difficult, more whatever. But I've never, ever experienced anything like a fragrance that really makes me feel the feeling I had with my first love. So Surinanka Naya is my choice. So my brother, he is my choice. I hope that you've liked it. Well, and I thank you all for watching this collaboration video. Talk to you soon. Adios.
So today I've been asked to pick out my favourite oud oil, which is like torture. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to pick out. Just one. Like, wow. But the one I've picked is a Thai oud, which might surprise quite a few people. I've actually picked a Thai oud, considering I'm always talking about Indian ouds. But we'll get around to that. So this one, it's a 2012 Prachin Borean, and it's probably one of the best smelling ouds I have in my collection. If you can imagine a high quality white chocolate bar or white chocolate, imagine it warmed up just a little bit and with slight woodsy undertones. That's pretty much what you get here. It's not really that complex, there's not a lot going on in it, but it just smells amazing. And I think nobody would be put off by this one. There's no harsh notes in there, no skanky notes in there. Some Thai ouds I have tried in the past have had a little bit of skank to it. This one has zero skank. Just the smoothest, creamiest milk chocolate, like white milky chocolate. Oh, it's beautiful. I would recommend it for everyone. I don't think there'd be anybody who would dislike this one. Young, old, male, female. This is like a Swiss Army knife of the ouds. And it really turned my head towards Thai oud as well. So I'm pretty thankful for that. And this has been the very difficult choice of picking out just one favourite oud. And my pick is a 2012 Prachin Borean oud.
Hello, my name is Sproaty from the channel Steven Sproat, and I would like to extend a great big thank you to Waseem for inviting me onto this collaboration. I've had an extremely hard time choosing which oils to use here, or the two oils rather, because I've amassed quite a large collection of oils in a relatively short time. I've only been kind of wearing proper oud oil since mid-April, and it's got to the point now where that's all I wear. So I'm going to try and keep this short, and I'm going to start off with my oud of choice. This again was a very hard choice because I have oud from many regions. I am swaying towards preferring Hindi ouds, which have the more barnyard leather kind of smell. But I've chosen, and also it kind of depends because my mood changes often. Sometimes I don't really want to wear a Hindi oud, so I'll wear something else. But at the moment, I've gone for Sultani 1990 by Enza Oud. This is from the jungle in Morocco. I think that's how you say it. And this is an extremely smooth and refined smell. There's absolutely no barnyard, no kind of off notes here. What you get is a semi-sweet, I have it on this hand. It's a semi-sweet fragrance, and again, I don't really like sweet fragrances, but this just does it for me. And I've smelled many Morocco scents, and they do have this similar profile, which is ultra smooth, refined. There's a kind of an elegance to them too. And yes, it's very long lasting. I get a good 12 hours out of it. I kind of over apply. I swipe way too much, and personally I don't think it projects that much. However, well, I used to think it didn't project that much, but in work I've been getting some comments and people saying they're noticing a fragrance about me. So even though kind of ouds are more of a closer scent and they sit a bit closer to your skin and don't actually project out so much, once you are in somebody's vicinity, they will notice you, and especially if you over apply like I do. So the strength is good with this, and it tends to leave a bit of a trail behind you. I mean, the sillage is bigger than the projection generally. So as you're walking about, you're kind of more likely to waft in a scent. This is now actually unavailable, so sorry for choosing this because you can't really buy it. You will have to purchase it from a private seller, and no, I'm not selling this. but yes, I'm happy to own this. It'll be a staple in my collection, and I'm looking forward to wearing this for many years to come. The viscosity is quite, I don't know, it's quite, I can't remember if a high viscosity means it's runny. I think it does. It's, I don't know, it kind of flows about. It's not too thick, and a little goes a long way, but I tend to over apply, like I said.
Hey everyone, thank you so much Waseem for including me in the video, really appreciate it. And today I'm going to talk about my favourite pure oud oil. I've got quite a few, I've tested quite a lot of samples. I've probably got around 30 or so samples of different oud oils. So with going through different profiles and different regions, I like a couple of different ouds. I like the Thai ouds, which are a little bit more fruity, a little bit more floral. I've got one called Oud Yusuf. I've got 15 grams of that. You can see the colour is like a rich kind of honey colour. This one is very mellow. It has a slight sweetness, slight honeyed, slightly floral, but very palatable and very easygoing and friendly. But I wouldn't say that was my favourite profile. My absolute favourite oud from all the samples that I've tried so far is a Morocco oud, which has this kind of earthy texture to it, earthy smell, almost like petrichor, like the smell of dust in the air before a rainstorm. And the one in particular I like is from Enza Oud. It's no longer available, and it's called Xiang Liao Ling, and this is from 2006, so it's aged quite a lot of years, I think 13 years. And this is from a particular region in Indonesia, and this smells amazing. It was a wild oud, so it's from a wild harvested tree. And the aroma is intensely earthy, and it doesn't particularly smell like soil, like from a forest soil, like jungle soil.
I kind of get a dried earth, almost like hot sand in a desert and dry earth. And it smells amazing, like it's so captivating and interesting to me. The smell is so rich and intense and earthy and dusty and dry and slightly incensey. Very complex. There's almost slightly spicy nuances and incense-like nuances, and it's just fantastic. So this one, Exiang Liaoling Wild Oud from a region of Indonesia, is my favourite profile. But I would say Morocco kind of profiles in general are my favourite, where you smell this earthiness and the dustiness. That's my kind of favourite profile of oud so far, I think. I'm not quite sure what it is particularly about that captivates me so much, but when I smelled it the first time I was like, wow, it really, I can't explain the feeling of it, but it just makes me feel something that I don't get from many other oils or perfumes. It's a unique experience, and I can't compare it to anything. It's a stunning oil, and it instantly makes me feel calm and relaxed, and just like I smell it and I just feel good, and I don't know, there's something about it that's just very attractive to me, and I love. If I could bathe in that every day and just smell like that all the time, I would. It's beautiful. I love that one. There is another wild oud from Borneo, from Ensar, which I also own, which has a slight Morocco base, this earthy, dusty kind of base, but the top of the oud is a lot more fruity and sweet, honeyed sweet, and as it dries down it gets the earthiness in the dry down. So Indonesia and Borneo, two of my favourite ouds come from. Hope you enjoyed my little segment, and I will pass it on to the next. Thank you again, Waseem. Cheers.
Thank you, Peter, for your excellent selection. So for me, my favourite oud oil is from the house of Ensar Oud, and that one is called Oud Yusuf. So Oud Yusuf is described on Ensar's website as the prettiest oud you can wear, and for me he's really hit the nail on the head. This is one of the most pleasing, non-offensive, sweet, just mesmerising oud oils I have come across so far. And I've tested quite a few dozen oud oils now so far. I'm just beginning in my oud journey, and for me Ensar's Oud Yusuf is the standout for me. It opens up with this gorgeous, ripe, fruity opening with a touch of some spices. Now the spices that I pick up in this are cardamom, tobacco, very slight mellow tobacco, and a touch of clove as well. The fruity, ripe, exotic fruitiness that you pick up at the opening remind me of this mango pickle that my grandma and my mum made when we went on holiday to India. And that mango pickle, it's called in my language a murabba, and it's also in the mango pickle a touch of some cloves as well. And the smell of the mango pickle and the clove, whenever I wear Oud Yusuf, it reminds me of that mango pickle, and it reminds me going on holiday to India, and it just conjures up that amazing memory for me. So Oud Yusuf, not only does it smell absolutely mesmerising, it reminds me of a very fond memory in my lifetime as well, which is why I consider it to be one of my favourite oud oils. So like I've said, this is a sweet, fruity, slightly spicy oud oil, and as it's described on the website, it's one of the most prettiest ouds that you can try. There's no skankiness, there's no animalics, there's no barnyard or core that you typically find in Hindi ouds. In terms of performance, for me, Oud Yusuf lasts on my skin quite a long time, around 10 to 12 hours. The projection for me is a little bit mellow. It doesn't scream, but you have a healthy scent cloud. But the sillage is outstanding. When you walk past people, they are able to smell you. And I received quite a few positive compliments from wearing Oud Yusuf, which isn't always the case when you're wearing oud. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I just want to say a massive thank you to all the YouTube reviewers that have taken part in this video. So to Nikhil, to Juan, to Gaz, to Sproaty and to Peter. I want to say a massive thank you for being part of this collaboration video. Guys, there's going to be a part 2 of this collaboration as well. It's going to be our top Attar or Mukhallab blend oil, which is going to be released in a few weeks time. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and make sure to leave a comment as well. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this review and this video. Until next time, see you later.